former president, it is not as usual. When you disagree, it doesn't mean that it is something that is demonic or a taboo, but you're underlined. Former President John Dramani Mahama.
Ben, what is wrong with you this morning?
What's it? The way I want your man, I can't disagree. What's wrong with you this morning?
Listen to me. Haven't you seen MPP people boycott Parliament before?
And I'm saying boycott.
Former President John Dramani Mahama has admonished the Akufo-Addo led government to focus on developing the key sectors of the economy that will create jobs and prosperity for Ghanaians, instead of policies that only provide free things for people. The former president, who is also the flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress in the upcoming December polls, made the comment during an interaction with members of the Association of Road Contractors. I quote, "This government is prioritizing consumption. No government develops prioritizing consumption. You have to invest money in the productive sectors, and the productive sectors will create jobs, and the jobs will create prosperity for the people. But if you say everybody should stay home and we'll give you everything free this, free that, all the countries that have developed, they didn't develop like that. You must assure the people of jobs. If people are working and getting money that they will need, people are working and getting money, what would they need free for if they can afford to pay?" And somebody says, let's have a competition on social intervention. Social interventions are consumption. So, Your Excellency, your flag bearer, my former president, or a big challenge for this administration under another than Akufo-Addo, or the free business, he believes in empowering in the productive sectors to make me capable of going out there to go and buy what I need to buy.
Thank you very much. There is a Chinese proverb, I can say, if you give somebody fish for 100 years, he'll still become a beggar. But if you teach him how to fish, he becomes a man of his own. As money, nim enko MBA, sabi manun tumko sa. It is shared development. If you have done development studies now, you are comparing yourself. So, idea wobeya ebe enhance with growth pools. So what you are saying. Again, you're also looking at emergencies and what you have to do. I may feel say Mahama Samokan is in the context of national development. One, idea Emma national development, as has been done in many other countries. Savings, what you say, savings and investment, capital investment. And no na sa we ya na ye nyina aye say obia we. So obia ni bibia we there, then am say aban ese obem. So what you say. Now, say aban bi say me there menyi sika na me there ye investment a ebema yesika ene ochina afibo menye investment a ebema mrante wanu enya adwuma aye. So what I say, for us in a developing world, you know, that should be the angle I say here. So what I say. So for example, you decide to say, me per se me ye Ghana as the aviation hub of West Africa. To say Singapore for decide to say but they want to be the financial hub of the world. And now Singapore is what it is. And so we built the Kotoka International Airport. So Kotoka International Airport, you know, at a count, you know, now man for about 1,962 workers. So they have permanent, respectable job all the time. So what you say. Now, again, I want to educate, for example, mom for good education, quality education. And therefore, I want to train more teachers. This is your political principle. I want to train more teachers. And in training more teachers, you know, what are the constraints? And I think every OBI development studies, when you say, we can't obviously die in Kurana, Usikano kra ho or say bom say constraint bi or say we land or say we anameboa.
Yeah.
So I want to improve my education. And then I'm all the constraints the education be ye free ho. Sometimes you see say a danya nkolan bedem. Schools and kolan hospitals and dormitories and kolan bedano ebi ni ho. And so and ebi ana awofo bi so ntumi ntia won fees. And it's a constraint. So you measure this and in developments that we call it, you weight the impact. You prioritize. So if you, for example, say, me no free education, but mum me yes I no me newe and sana, and I say alongside my yes because fees and yet as major constraint as the availability of hostels, dormitories, science labs. You may look at it differently. Somebody too must look at it differently. So what I say. But in the end, you apply the sustainability test. When you say, oh, Nimpakura Waka say, me see more schools would therefore end up admitting more students. Will end up admitting, employing more teachers. So what I say. It is this paradigm as NDC. When we thought about the free senior high school, for example, let us build the schools. Now improve the teacher training colleges, elevate them from normal schools into tertiary schools, technical universities, and even teacher training colleges. All of them have been assigned to University College of Winneba. Exactly. So that is what we did. In doing so, our aim was not just the little constraint of allowances. In our understanding, the little constraint was not just allowances, but the fact that since we are going to expand the education system, we needed more teachers.
Okay.
We needed more teachers, and therefore the biggest constraint was this allowance, teachers' allowance. Okay. Now that they have become tertiary institutions, move them to the student loan scheme, which is by law what every tertiary institution is supposed to do. This is what we did. So what you
okay, so well, if it's about free, am I hearing it right that under the watch of John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, tertiary education is going to be free? What's the difference between implementing
technical education?
Technical,
yes,
not tertiary.
No, technical. What we have called Siajuma, not football bra, Siansanajuma, not football bra. So what you say? Sir. Ube ko school a ube wie ba beton twinga woka akwan ho de
Dabi
ene suanwun sanu adwuma
fita mason
o ma yin se sia wo di wo fie taz a wo to ye woni mpakro beto ye o fi Togo
majority of them
because Togo for years deliberate program say ye training yan kwada no insanu juma so that we can export them. Philippines did the same thing. Train their people in service delivery. Into Dubai, taxi drivers, nurses, Filipinos. It's a deliberate state policy. So what I say, that's the way you're doing. And you say, young chronos, free service. That one we accept, we admit. And that is why we continue with President Kufuor's leap. We admit and that. But who nim say, Obie ni wa wo twesika oni dem sebi no they are free service anambeboa every free thing that is going to anybody is being paid by somebody.
Yeah, it comes with a price.
Every free education, free days. Now we be say one case as a country capital accumulation ye den o budget deficit den. So what you say? So instead of borrowing for consumption, every good economist will tell you, say, borrow for investment.
Okay. Maminu, we on this one, Honorable Embrem. The president gave a response. To him, it might be appropriate, but I can see, say, Udifa, probably won't see about Difa, because the president said that it is not just a question of freebies. It's a question of the times that we find ourselves in and being sensitive to the plight of the Ghanaian.
Yes, and the president may have reasons for saying what he said. And John Mahama also had reasons, but let us integrate the reasons between the two of them. Now, we borrowed over $1 billion Ghana dollars. We borrowed that for the poor people. Not so. Correct. IMF, you got 1 billion for the poor people. How much of that had gone to the poor people has to be explained. Because I remember, say, you started free food delivery, no?
Yeah.
One for 2 days. The third day, and abublushi no. So those catchment group na near target woman. One need a abublushi. I don't know. I don't know how Ben should be able to explain how they fed the 400,000 people. But certainly what we saw in the pictures, you know, for the 2 days, you know, they didn't accumulate about 400,000.
I see. How are you?
You know.
All right. John Dramani Mahama was challenged on matters of freebies. Invest, let people be empowered than just going to fish for people all the time. Free.
It's unfortunate that His Excellency, or me started on the wrong footing. So, I mean, madam, for I know the way I me raise the temperature from the beginning. They are unfortunate.
I was just drawing attention. Say, I don't want to be part of that discussion. I don't say a name. How about you?
Oh,
everybody.
Kofi Papa
Everybody want to be.
Let's calm down. Let's send any signal out there. Say, you know. Because these are some of the lighter things. You buy beginning crowd was like chia penny for ne Adom for ne your mommy no more 80 and over when now we are starting you know because anyway I bro I gonna they say maybe easy now you move on it mean you taking it easy. I see a bar no pay. And your papa be pie be hanka, whom he a woman. And so papa no has him near discuss.
Another one.
Papa,
what do you say?
Akufo-Addo.
Why are you guys? Mahama. Mahama.
Oh, Your Excellency, this is what I give it to you.
Oh, you know, Mr. Secretary, now I also have the same.
We are Mahama, dear.
Oh, my goodness. Don't say Papa Akufo-Addo.
Oh, but I this time Akufo-Addo why they child branch.
Ah, well.
The so called branch. Who TV is going to some game? I said, who knows TV is going to some game? The so called branch. And as is here, and you, I say,
Portugal could be or
this is the way to go. This is the spirit of Ghanaian. And these are sorry, these are that makes us Ghanaian. It never be more. Other places on Battery kind.
Yeah.
Other places on Battery kind. Bomb man, Ghana, the castle.
That papa and
no, but what I'm saying is, oh, there be and try. Somebody you follow your man, Corona, who say, Fabra, you know, chinchins are.
You're for the World Cup. You're good.
World Cup, yes. Even in the midst of Papa Mahama.
See,
Papa Mahama. And I'm a bachelor. Anyway, bachelor. To me.
Now, so the context with which we are talking, the Papa no. That's why Your Excellency says that he disagrees to that conversation. But but what you have just said, no, it's not fair. So what context?
Oh, Debbie says,
Papa no meaning Vietnam. That's the problem.
Oh, Debbie, tree program here, your mind. Tree program here,
you.
Tree program here.
I will say, I didn't know Papa no Mahama. I explain.
Because the topic never can was Mr. Kusra say, Papa no say. And I mean, here Papa na some yeking. And in this case, Papa na some yekano. Papa no ye Mahama.
The former president. Assembly yeking. I am Mahama. I Akufo-Addo person.
Debbie. I was like, once we are confused. When you are brand of once we are confused. President Mahama, President Mahama. It's not me Papa no can asem no.
Papa grow na wo kan. Wo ka Akufo-Addo na say.
Se kamen ko an kan no pay enye sa Mahama issues we ni ebeka.
Okay.
So, enema ehuhia o man. And no pay 11 o'clock president or kwako that African Free Trade Continental program is here. Or kwako be your office. Enuma de be bo man mu, enuma de be mo man mu. Kwame Nkrumah no mo kofa afa hu de buy no. These are some of the things are no more pre. Say bit ma be di Ghana. Na do ada Roma. And there's any way I started a bagana. Yet it for no share nim a musankan and about papa bayano, nina a bagana. You can say no see the hunkomo. Nanya papa no di. So, because issues were not
free.
You
It's at our expense.
When you're dealing with people who are any principal stance, it's difficult to handle them. Very difficult to handle people like former President Mahama. Because on their principled on issues, ubisa soja for na call war na obeka chiro. Senator Kwame the more deep those guerrilla war in and yet conventional and say we more how BC. Gorilla idea, obetumi address a journalist can if you the tube yashen who know the abetina now, you know. Because what is he really against? Is he against see everybody free? Emu dia hin and the position you say any about with him.
Invest in people.
Emu dia hin free near the medeba semeba. Only specific.
Empower
Say free way I'm with man made them about me trim. My man starting free secondary school. Say to see free.
Yeah, free.
What's the essence of it? It is to empower people. And I'm education. Education you waste. And it is so say Mahama ya kase Mahama e play tricks bi na osan nya kwanya no. Nyame amfa fie do osan nya kwanya na obetwa free secondary school ma. So when the position ya work he is now still criticizing free call them freebies. And come hu ye wo ye japa wo ye principle da. Ade bia unim very well say especially what fast we di ye no. O masa akonya no e ma wo ma anase nchirima so faso e be di ye bi. Ese kedua nanse adi awu no. Eno na ntekuma ntena ase ntonko. But enye dua anka nanse wadi ayeye. Edua nanse wadi ayeye dia ko didi we ya no afre so ene nanse sem na akwa ye da to school. Ka owie na nanse diwe no start frefre ne ma no. Afu kerenkere tikere ni afre no afru nyanko hwia no call frefre so munya so medi because duaba na ye duaba papa. That is why even in the Bible scriptures no Jesus Christ the perfect leader I nya no asase so. Who say what teenager ne nchen wo ne sanifa so osoro na all the goodies no who say da bi o say bi nua no ma wasase so no de maye bia no mo so benya kwanya sa ba back to your father in heaven ho no but also I enjoy the goodies no meba be tu sa na mo no to ba asase so de ne kwakora be to ho mo say de be ya yeso ye benya nkwaje da ma. That's what good leaders do. President Nkrumah who said education see why any free ama yenkofo ni bia omuntumi assess knowing the value ni contribution education betumi dey aba o man no or the buyer ema yenua President Mahama enya so mfaso mo abedi MP obedi deputy minister obedi minister obedi vice president as the president bia asem kan bia asem kan se nye free education a obi ma ni nya ya bia kana odinantwie chi wogure mba na bia nko kana ntwie ba na mese twi ne ye kanu mese bia nya education a se nantwie chi ukokan obi a politicians on be fa ne se bia am mi bu o me di nantwie chi no enimtia politicians ahen na yema ekodi nantwie chi asofo mpanyifo a wo man mu emu ahen na ma omma ekodi nantwie chi.
So that's the meaning you apply to it.
So that betren it is a adwuma papa bi to set directors accountant here they na eduru a protocol na mo yen politicians de ma yema and you say oh about who is out it's so under normal circumstances can you free it is somebody has to pay for it. It's about say because of circumstance need to know it's you no mo fa ni free ya na mo tumi akokoro mo nsa. Are you surprised say yet me I bring COVID no under control?
Okay, your excellency wrap up my
again unkania yes see because they want to me come back into no uko other places cry America me dey see mo checks. Landlords, yes is on to me rent because or landlord too. And now mortgage, and you can see a tata. I say yeah, need that system, you at least on can answer there. You be meet you halfway. Meeting you halfway, apart from the personal level, say a savings to you. Wait to me there other things, you know. Companies, the industries, so you meet you halfway, you know. Do you know what that means? Sasikano, under normal circumstances, no, reinvest into their this thing. As they reinvest, you know, and then no more. Expand on businesses, you know, and your opportunities no more create a man for your juma. Again, I buy, you know. Under one district, one factory. Ye kono. Sabi, nye nipa na be adwuma ho. Planting for food and jobs. Ye de sika ehwem no. Si ye makua for fertilizer, ye mom say no. Nye nipa na eko hom. Extension officers nko ano, ye recruit over 13,000.
Okay,
forestry nko ano over 75,000. Education double track cover by nko enti no. Yasan increase.
Yes, is wrap up for
teaching and non-teaching staff no for more than 40-50,000.
Wrap up.
Now, you call this freebies. Freebies in they're not to talk cast the church and school for Mayano.
But I can't substantiate that.
Oh, yes. I'm not expecting you to do that.
No, I can't substantiate.
Yes, but I know it.
But how do you know
it? It is on record.
That
I take them to teach my school for
that it was Ghana's money.
It
was Ghana's money. And that's it.
Of course.
That item.
Of course.
Where is
the president of Ghana not in Pierre.
But where is the proof?
Proof ni be Land Cruiser now could friends. I was so West we go candidate no. Domelo say
John Domelo.
John Domelo. Yes. Land Cruiser na could ni hona or the could na workshop na. Omo ko say you state there.
Okay.
Hona oja Land Cruiser ni dem am so no one bottom scan or the toy. E ka omo ko am ka Land Cruiser ni say dia obi jaja ma.
That one is clear.
It's example na me dey me ma. I don't hear any freebies.
Amine. There. Munye yane pay. Unchecking the facts. No, I bet na. And therefore, he's not addressing the issues now. Yarikan. Oman paying that dona some American in there. So money butum puna. Or there are certain investments. Ama ochinibi mfason abahun amayan yandebia. Okay. Now I have in my hands some information be a major man not conca check. 3rd December 2014. In fact, 3rd March 2014. Mahama's free senior high school, good for Ghana. President Akufo-Addo. Mahama's free, but from an American now, one fan body to as American. Then 3rd December, why Ghanaians should reject NDC's free education. 11 September 2017, UNESCO allows John Mahama for introducing free senior high school, progressive free senior high school. What he has to understand, you there, young free education, and a young Gina Waji. You have the plan of Tom. You have the plan, you have the Tom. Into my municipal school, dying. My means I be a more from an bada. Which
is not true.
That
is not true. Your e-blocks did not make provision for baby and Karabeda.
Money really point.
There be no canon you clear. Or also you be checking the fast, and yet it's giving false figures.
Coffee.
You are giving false information. E-blocks they make it provision for baby and Karabeda.
Please. E-blocks were substantially community-based schools.
Exactly.
You never provided baby and again, so-called progressive, they didn't pay fees and also it took Napoleon President Akufo-Addo. You want to take credit for something you have no idea about.
I have
the so-called progressive.
I have so much respect for this program. I have so much respect for this program, and therefore I will never.
That is why you can check me fast when the fast so-called fast no your false. It you shouldn't have said something. Check me fast.
The fact
so-called progressive and now said you good no. The facts even a dime.
the facts, as I asked you to check, and the mama dates, you know.
Yes, the date is there,
So
but I'm also telling you that you didn't pay even a dime.
No,
the records are there.
You are missing the point.
I'm not missing the point.
Here, he has stated 3 headlines.
Said
Former president being lauded by UNESCO. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo appreciating
free senior
for progressiveness
yes.
also.
Now, even let us bracket the free progressive, not so progressive.
That tells you, Nana, your principle. He believes that school free. It's the most progressive.
I don't want to follow you. I don't want to follow you, but I can multiply what you are doing 100 times.
Yes, let me appeal. Unfortunately, because I have to end my program. So
yes.
Sorry.
So, but I wanted him to understand. Say, look, when you say you are going to implement a project, you plan. No, so have to put certain things in place. And so why? And I'm why.
It's 500,000 and they will stay home every year, following your plan.